Hi, everybody. This is Tina with Loving Life's Little Blessings, and this is a little bit of a different intro for you guys today. I just wanted to say welcome, and I'm glad you're here. You're looking right now at a scene from Sex and the City, which is one of my all-time favorite shows, and I really love all of the aspects of friendship about this show. And today is my Friendship Friday post. All this week has been my favorite things week, and I have been doing that with Wendy Cranford from Love and Stampin'. We've been posting blog posts this week, and our intention this week was to have a post for you guys every single day, and each day had a different theme. And that did not happen. I missed yesterday. Thursday was my throwback Thursday, and I was doing a Cricut layout. I still have that footage for you guys, and I am going to write that post for you guys next week. So next Thursday, we're going to still go ahead and do a throwback Thursday together, and I'll show you guys that. Some stuff has happened in my personal life, and I'll just give you a real quick rundown before we jump into the card that I'm going to make. But on Wednesday, I had a doctor's appointment for my middle daughter, and we just had a diagnosis for her that left me pretty emotional, and I just was not able to pull it together and do any writing for you guys, and so I apologize for that. But I am back today with a post for you guys about friendship. And actually, coming up right here is a picture of Wendy and I on Wednesday. She went with me to the doctor's appointment and was able to just be there with me and help me process everything and, just that kind of thing that friends do for you. So we went on Wednesday, and I wanted to make her a card that just said, "Thank you so much for all your help and everything that you're doing." And so that's what this card is about today. So I hope you will enjoy it. And I have a lot planned for next week with lots more things going on. So thanks, guys. Let's jump in and make this card today. And I hope you enjoy it. Kind of a card. It's not going to be a card that opens. So let's just get started. We're going to use these two stamp sets. This is one that I've had and I've used before, and then this one's brand new. I got it about a month ago and I've been wanting to use it. So I'm going to start with a piece of vellum, and there's quite a few different steps that I'm doing. I have this mounted. I don't put the sticker on my big stamps like this. I just don't think it's necessary. So I have this mounted onto a big block, and then I'm using the gold ink. So this is gold ink that we have, and I'm inking this up. And I really want to get it inked up. I really want it to be really wet because then we're going to emboss. So I'm going to try to be very careful and not get any of this ink in the middle. You have to push on the outside, obviously, to get the image, but I'm trying not to push in the middle where there's ink on the middle of that stamp set from the way I inked it up. It's okay if there is, but I'm just trying to be careful, and see, there is a little bit, and that's okay. What I do is I have a paper towel here, and I just have a little bit of, I actually have, this is hand sanitizer that I use to clean my blocks, but that'll take some of it off, that vellum. I want it to look kind of worn, and I'm not like too terribly worried about it, but then I'll just kind of rub that around. So it'll be okay. It's okay. It's going to be very inky anyways. So now I'm going to take some gold embossing powder. Okay, so we have this piece. Now let's move on to our Whisper White piece. I have some Whisper White here. So I have this cut at 4 by 5 1/4, but that's going to change. I am going to trim it down again after I do some stamping. So I have my gold ink pad and I have some Blackberry Bliss, and then I'm going to use the floral stamp from the Choose Happiness stamp set, and we're gonna do that in gold first. And then I'm going to go ahead and clean it. Use Blackberry Bliss. And I'm layering it. And you can see I'm not being too terribly careful. We're going to trim that again in a minute. So let's close up these ink pads. Okay, so now I'm going to use my ATG adhesive. And I'm gonna put that up here where the gold is. Now, the reason I used the gold ink and the gold embossing is just because I want it to look really messy. The gold ink is going to smear really easily when you're working with it if you don't let it dry. And I just wanted to be able to have some of the embossing powder over it, and you can see like right up there it's smeared, and that's okay. Like I'm gonna smear a bunch of ink in just a few minutes, so I'm not too worried about it. So I have the ATG adhesive down there and I'm centering this just like this. And that did not center. Shoot. Well, okay, so what I'm going to do to fix that, it didn't center. See? When I put that down, it just didn't center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim the white around it. No one will ever know. So there's a little bit of a border, okay? It's fine. It's totally fine. Okay, so next we are going to take the sentiment from Choose Happiness, and we're going to use our Blackberry Bliss ink. And, do you see what happened? Okay, let's roll with it. So I wanted my sentiment, I'll show you guys. I wanted my sentiment going this way, but it just dropped off my block. And if I was a better Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would re-stamp this whole project and start over, but I don't have time, so we're gonna roll with it. And you're still going to get the basic idea, and I will show you my original, how it came out. So we're done with the Blackberry Bliss. Now we're going to use, I'm gonna put some adhesive on this stamp. This stamp set must have, when I used it last, I must have gotten, I don't know, something on the stamps to where they're not, they must have, you know, oils from my fingers or something, or the climate here is hard with these as well. So I have the bird. I'm gonna stamp off once, and then I'm going to stamp the bird on there like this. Now what I want to do is, this is the messy part. I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to rub just around that stamped image a little bit so it kind of smears. So I was going to do the same thing, not with the same finger because now that has brown on it, but I want that, because this is vellum, so it's really easy to smear it. Okay, so now we're going to take the heat tool and we're going to heat set all of this. Now I have a piece of Blackberry Bliss cardstock, and it's actually one of our pre-scored bases. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this on here. That wasn't my original plan, but because I messed up the white and I had to trim around that, I'm just going to go ahead and go with it and use that card base and go ahead and just make it a full-size card. Sometimes you have to roll with the punches. So let's try to center this. Okay, so now I'm just kind of giving it one more little, take some of it off over here and over here. It will peel, the embossing will peel off, but I want it to look really worn, okay? And then now here's my card. What I'm pairing this with is a Wink Stella glitter pen. I originally was just going to have this part kind of wrapped around it, around the Wink Stella pen, because I'm giving it as a gift. But this is okay, it'll work. And then the card will open. So what I think I'm gonna do, because I don't like how much that's sticking up, I think I'm just going to put a dab of adhesive right behind the bird, because it won't be as noticeable right behind that bird. And then that will keep it down. And then that is the card. So it has that peeking up from the vellum. I really love working with vellum. And then it has the gold and the smearing of it. So those are easy to do with the vellum. It's easier to do that than with cardstock. The gold would smear when you use it on this cardstock. Like I could probably even still smear this. The gold will smear right away on your cardstock because it's a really wet ink. But on vellum, all of our inks will stay on the surface until they dry, and it's easy to smear them. So I encourage you to try that. So I'm gonna pair this card with this gift, and I'm gonna give it as a little gift to a friend. And I hope that you have enjoyed this week with our favorite things and what we've been sharing with you. And leave me a comment and let me know which day of the week was your favorite. And I will be back next week with some new content, some new memory keeping ideas, and a new memory keeping day of videos, and just fun. There's just some fun things coming up in April. So thanks guys for hanging out with me and checking out my card today, and I will chat with you later.